guys, I'm here today to review the Duology by Alexandra Bracken, and that includes Passenger and WayFarer. Passenger came out last year, and I have already reviewed this on my channel, but I did do another review on my blog earlier this month. And then I did a review of WayFarer, and this came out the first week of January. I really like this book series. I gave it overall on a first read, both books 4 stars. But I do up those to 5 stars if you do reread them once you have fully know the story, because I think that because it's basically a time traveling historical fiction novel, so I feel like there's so many interconnections and so many things that you don't really notice. So when you reread it, I think the story not only is more cleaner and more crisp, but the connections make a lot more sense. And I think that both books did the first time because it's a really, really big world building novel. They did drag at points. Both books did, but I feel like once you know the end point of a story, it doesn't drag as much. So I do give them both 4 stars on a first read and 5 stars on a reread, because I think that the story just is her writing is gorgeous, her characterization is gorgeous, her world building is gorgeous. But I just think sometimes on a reread, I think that you really learn to appreciate the story more. It's about this girl named Etta, who basically learns that she is a time traveler in a devastating way. And she goes on this extraordinary adventure where she meets Nicholas, who is an African American slave from the 1700s, and they go on this epic adventure. And it is really, really spectacular. I thought the diversity in this book was so good. I thought that the presence of diversity and the discussions of diversity was some of my favorite parts of the whole novel, or the whole series, because it was something that really was affecting the characters, so it made sense that it was such a big talking point. But I really, really liked it. I love the time travel elements. I love how Alexandra Bracken really wove in the rules so well. The world building was spectacular. The first book I think I really really enjoy. And the second book was a great conclusion. I thought that the team ups we got to meet characters that I was really hoping that we got to meet, and we got to see them in other situations. All the locations were so cool, and I loved looking at them through a historical lens, and then looking at them through Etta's eyes, and then looking at them through Nick's eyes. Because I think that these characters have such widely different perspectives. It was kind of cool. But I really loved all the new characters that we met and the team-ups that we got in WayFarer, because they were kind of unexpected, and I was not expecting that. But it also introduced a lot of really interesting questions, like if you have the ability to change the timeline, should you? And who has that right and who doesn't have that right? So I think that while book 1 was a book about love and romance in regards to Etta and Nicholas, book 2 was really about friendship and the preservation of time. And I was not expecting that. I think book 2 definitely threw me for a lot of curveballs, and I had a very, very set idea about one character going to book 2, and it totally changed by the end of book 2. But overall, I thought it was a very, very impressive, fast-paced read that really used the beauty of history to really tell this story. And I think that sometimes when you read historical fiction novels, the history isn't really focused on, or you feel like it's kind of just there. But I felt like all these locations had a very, very specific reason for being used. And I really applaud Alexandra Bracken for how intense this world building was, but also how everything she did really made the story even more better. And I just thought it was a very, very well-crafted story. It was slow at points, especially towards the end of WayFarer, because it was a very, very big tie-up in a very, very short amount of time. But overall, I was really, really impressed with the story. And I think as a duology, it actually was the right timeline. Now, as I'm going to mention in my wrap-up for January, I have read a lot of big books this month. So these books were extremely long. But I do think the length was warranted. And I think that on a reread, I will appreciate the length even more. But overall, those are my thoughts about the Passenger duology. If you have any more questions or want my spoiler thoughts, just comment below and I'll be happy to do it. But I'll talk to you guys later.